Crops were allocated, methods and equipment were improved, and Canada's food production rose 100% in value. Condensed and powdered to cram into ships, much of her food went out to beleaguered allies. And so in this land of more and more, the people were getting less and less. On July 1st, 42, the housewife first gazed in dismay at the ration book and a very small stamp collection. For each and every person, each and every week, 8 ounces of sugar, 1 ounce of tea, 4 ounces of coffee, a half pound of butter, and 2 pounds of meat. Just that and nothing more. To many, it was a baffling business, and the grocer became economic advisor, nutritional expert, and father confessor to the family. Sugar, the Gallup poll announced, was the biggest headache, and one didn't spill it if one knew what was good for one. There was no escape in the restaurants. By supper time, the menu was very short. The Sunday driver was no more. Gas and tires were rationed according to need, and there were no new cars. If you weren't in a carpool, you had plenty of company. In the city, you needed a permit to buy a bike. Then, if you were young enough, you could get around. If not, you could rediscover your youth. Everywhere, they improvised. Sunflower seeds for oil. At Polymer, chemicals were mixed to make synthetic rubber, and a great plant grew at Sarnia. The scrap collector was a patriot, and you could be fined if you threw out a toothpaste tube. Industry took anything it could get. There were ships to build, and tanks and planes. The cliché had come true. Canada was an arsenal of democracy. This was a collector's item, the last civilian car. The automotive industry went into full war production. There remained the job of getting it there. The bulk of the Allied navies was busy elsewhere. Nearly half of North Atlantic convoy duty now fell to the RCN. Admiral Percy Nellis, Chief of Staff, discussed the convoy system. A local force now escorted ships from Halifax to a point 700 miles east of St. John's. A second force took them on to Londonderry. But the charts that spring of '42 told an alarming story. The Nazi wolf packs had worked westward. Since January, 300 Allied ships had gone down within sight of land. The war at sea was at the very gates of St. John's and Halifax. The RCAF's Eastern Air Command pushed as far as fuel would allow to cover the convoys. They lived by a laconic slogan: find the enemy, strike the enemy, protect our ships. But eventually, they must turn for home. The convoys would then be alone, sitting ducks on the infested sea. RCN fought back. Seldom could they kill a U-boat, but they could drive them off. The lifeline to Britain was tattered but intact. Democracy stood a chance. The stockpiles were building, and the ships would turn back. Just time for a drink, a dance, a laugh, stolen from the angry sea.